All right, we're back and ready to do Snowflake D. So we've mastered the stitch and flip method, and we're going to continue that today. So what you're going to do is mark the blocks that need a line drawn on them using your sandpaper board with a white or a dark pencil, and we're going to just jump right into sewing. So we're going to start with this block up here, and we're going to make sure that the angle is going the correct direction, which is where we have the meat of the block in the top left area. We're stitching to the bottom right. So again, start stitching here to the point. So let's go to the machine. All right, just going to stitch to the left of the line on this one. Make sure you change that back over to your center needle position. Stitch all the way through, go ahead and clip. And then we're going to take this to the iron and we're going to press this up. Okay. Again, set the seam, take the side of the iron and let the iron do the work for you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take the piece, we're going to place it right sides down, and we're going to look at where we've sewn this piece onto, keeping a square edge. We're going to trim off or give it a haircut anywhere that we see that we need to. So just that little bit is what came off. We're going to flip it to the right side, open this up, and we're going to trim a 1/4 inch, placing that 1/4 inch marking on your ruler to the seam and trim. Okay, so once you've done that, we're going to bring it back to our board and we're going to sew our next piece to that same corner we just sewed the little white piece on there. So we're going to come from here and we're going to stitch corner to corner. So let's go to the machine. Okay, this one's a quick one. So this one I'm stitching the way I've got the fabric in there. We're stitching to the right of that line because that's where the excess is hanging off. So again, we're going to take it from here. We're going to press this out. Give it a quick set. Place it here, put that clapper on there. Anytime we get those small blocks, it really does help control it with the clapper, especially with the heat. Taking it here, we're going to flip this over, and this one you can tell I have a little bit more trimming that we need to do. So we're going to keep it square to the block, and you can see that there is that little bit of haircut that we need to have happen, a little more than the last time, and that's okay. Sometimes we're more accurate than others. Going to flip this up and we're going to trim. Okay, and just like that, we have our first section done. We're going to continue on and we're going to do this next section right here on the other side, going the opposite of where we had this one. So if you notice, they're laying different again. So we're sewing from here to here on this one. All right, let's go to the machine. Come from here. Okay. Gonna trim, pull that out, and we're going to press that up from there. I love a very simple but yet repetitive block that really helps you master the skill. It's always nice to have something that you do over and over again because you just perfect it. So what you're going to do, once we've taken it off the iron, we're going to come and we're going to flip it around, keep it square. Got a little bit to trim off this time. Going to flip this back to the right side, open that up, and we're going to trim. Okay, and we've got that little piece that we're going to put onto the corner here. So we're going to place it here, take my sticker off. Because nothing is more frustrating when you sew through or iron down a sticker where you don't want it. So from here to here is where we're going to stitch. All right. Then we're going to open this up and press towards the small piece. So just exactly the same way we just did the first one. We just have two different angles with those pieces. Give it a quick set. Flip this around onto the back side using a square ruler. Gonna trim those little tails. Gonna open this up, tip it back, and we're going to trim. All right, one more section done. Now we're gonna work into our corner pieces. So this one, we have our larger pieces, much like we did on one of the blocks before. So we do need to do this one at a time. So we're gonna stitch from here to here, and then we're going to press. Then we're gonna come back and grab this one, and we'll stitch that on after we've done this one. Because of the size of these corners, we can't do that all at once. We're gonna take that to the machine. Okay, we're gonna go in. Stitching to the right of that line on this one. Gonna open that up, and we're going to press. Okay, give it a quick set here. This one I don't have to keep the clapper on there too long because I'm gonna come back and press it again in just a second. Now we're going to the opposite corner. We're going to stitch this one down. All right, let's go to the machine. Again, to the right of the line. And we're going to take this to the machine and press that out. Okay? All right, give it a good quick set. This one, if you feel like you want to keep the clapper here a little longer because we have two sides that we're working, you could do that, but just a little bit of time is all it needs. All right, so we're going to flip this over to the wrong side. We're going to look at our ruler, keep making it square, and trim off anything that we see hanging off. Okay, and again, if we're trimming off a lot, we probably want to take that off and re-sew that because we don't want to have a lot of trimming that's going on there. So taking this piece, flip it over, and we're going to trim those to the 1/4 inch. Rotate it, do the other side, and just like that. Okay, we've got one more section done. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on this little guy, but I pretty much can do this all in one step because I'm not overlapping where those seams will be close to. So I'm going to just sew those both at the same time, and then we'll press one at a time. Okay, here we go. All right, now that we've got these all trimmed, we've got all 4 sections ready to go. So what we're going to do, now we need to lay these out. So we're going to start with this one, going in the top left-hand corner. We're going to grab this one, which is going to go to the bottom right, and you notice that they're kissing each other. Then we're going to grab this one, place it in that corner, and this one in this corner. Again, everything is running parallel with each other. So that's the reference that you're going to give yourself. Again, if you want to change these up, go ahead and change them up with the placement. But this is the way the pattern shows you. So from here, we're going to place them right sides together, and the same thing here. And we're going to stitch all the way down. So let's go to the machine. Bringing your machine back to the 1/4 inch seam allowance, you're going to stitch all the way down. Okay, grab our next section, and okay. We're going to clip those apart and press them now. So what you're going to do is when you bring this up, I found that I pressed towards these 2 blocks, the corner blocks, is where my least amount of bulk was going to be. So again, keeping that on the top, I'm going to flip this over because these are the direction I would like to press towards. So let's take them to the ironing board. Start with the large one here. And we're going to set that seam, lift it up, place the clapper on there, go to this one, lift it up, and we're going to place the clapper on that one. Okay, so now we're ready to sew these two together. It's amazing how quick they go together, these blocks. So again, we're gonna rotate this back to where these two are kissing back in the center again. You're gonna take the top piece, place it right sides together. We're going to nest the seam right here, tip this back, make sure that that all lines up. And we're going to pin to the right of the seam, about 1/4 of an inch down, and come back to the left of the seam so that we can stitch past the seam and pull out that pin when we get to that point. All right, we're ready to go to the machine. Let's go ahead and sew this together. Gonna just get that to the corner, take out my pin. All right, and we're ready to press this. I'm going to press it to the main part over here, so we're going to press in this direction is where we're going to press. So flip that over, make sure that that's to the top. And go ahead and set that seam, lift that up, and press towards that. We're just trying to press to where we don't have the least amount of bulk where we can find it. All right. So now what we're going to do, we have actually sewn those blocks together. We've made 4 of these, and now we're ready to put the block together. So again, we have our 2 portions down here that we've sewn our E strip to the center, and then we're going to connect our D strip to the 2 sections. So I've already done part of that, so let's continue putting that block together. So I'm going to put it from here. Again, sew with the bulk on the bottom versus on the top. So go to the machine, 1/4 inch stitch. Okay, grab that. And we're going to press it towards our center strip here. All right. I just love these snowflakes. Every one of them just turns out so fun and different. And the thing is, we're doing the same steps on a lot of them, so it's just the variation in each step. So now we're going to place these right sides together. We're going to stitch across. Again, we want to make sure that the bulk, or the piece that has a lot of seams, is on the bottom. And if you would like to pin, you can pin if you feel the need to. Gonna line up that corner. And we're going to stitch this all the way down. Okay. Now what we're going to do is take it to the iron. We want to press it towards the center section, so we're going to make sure that the strip is on the top. Oh, these are just so cute. All right, and just like that, we've made 4 different snowflakes. This is Snowflake D. And now we're ready to put the whole quilt together into quadrants. So come back and join us for that.